This one's for the wolf grinding alone, for the streamers with two viewers, for the writer typing in silence, for the dreamer who keeps building even when no one claps. This one for the real ones who never gave up even when the room went quiet. Welcome to episode 8 of the Wolves Bar podcast. The lonely grind and the depth they can't handle. Let's talk about the face no one warns you about. The invincible face. When you're doing the work, showing up, building something from the dirt, and the world doesn't care. No likes, no comments, no hype, just silence. This is where most people quit, and this is where I almost quit. They think because no one's watching, it's not working. But that's not true. The invincible phase is where roots grow. It's where you build discipline. It's where you sharpen your edge. And when the moment finally comes, you don't show up, you arrive. Now let's get real for a second. You ever notice how your closest people go ghost when you start building? They won't share your stream, won't read your stuff, won't show up even when it's free. But let some random influencer post the same thing and boom, they're on it. That shit hurts. And it's okay to say that. But here's what I've learned. Your real ones might not know you yet. They are out there somewhere. But you find them by staying consistent. Don't beg for support. Don't chase loyalty. Just keep howling. The right wolves will hear it. We live in a world where everything has to be posted. Every win, every thought, every second. And if you don't share it, people act like it didn't happen. But here's the truth. You don't need a parade. Your progress doesn't need to trend. Your hustle doesn't need a camera. Real power is silent. And when the time is right, result speaks louder than posts. They'll say, when did he blow up? And you'll say, while you were watching noise, I was building legacy. Now let's call this shit out. We're in an era where people are addicted to drama, but starving for depth. They scroll for chaos, screenshot fights, comment on breakdowns, comment on politics, comment on everything. But when something real shows up, they skip it. We're in an era where the depth and the real shit is just blinded. Nobody cares about it. What is happening around us. They just chase drama, but when the real drama and the real thing in life happens, they just skip it. Because truth requires reflection, and most people don't want mirrors, they want smoke. But here at the Wolves Bar, we don't serve smoke, as I say, we serve silence, fire, perspective. You come here to feel, not to flex. You want drama? Please go scroll. You want meaning? Sit down. The bar is open every Wednesday. People many times ask me why I'm still watching old movies and why I surround myself with people who watched old movies, who listen old school music. How that this is how the new generation will say it, old school music, like 80s, 70s, 90s, even 50s though. Why I love 80s stuff in general. Why I rewatch Little Weapon like it dropped last week. Here's the answer. Because old school had a soul. No matter movies, no matter music, no matter books, shows, TV, stars that were born there, everything had a soul. That film Little Weapon, especially Mel Gibson's character. That man was broken, haunted, walking through fog no one else could see. And when I watched that, I knew that fog. I knew those demons. I stood with the same mist, unsure if I'd come out whole. Like I said, God that I had the people there. Every time I tell that story, good thing that I had people back then to get me out of that hole. That's why it hit. Not because of action, not because of nostalgia, because it was real. Modern movies, modern music, books, and all that. Most of them are polished lies, even the people guys. No depth, just dopamine. But back then, they told stories. Stories of men trying to hold it together with duct tape and rage. That's why I'll always replay the old school. Music, movies, whatever it is. Because some stories weren't just written, they were survived. Here's your howl for the week for this episode. You don't need noise, you need roots. Let them scream. You built. That was episode 8, the lonely grind and the depth that they can't handle. To every wolf grinding in silence, I see you guys. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are just not begging for attention. And trust me, that's the strongest move there is. Until next time, guys. Keep walking through the fog and don't ever apologize for doing it quietly.